Hi there. We're going to take a quick look today at the Archives module that we're currently launching on the Potentiality system. You can see here that I'm logged into the Melbourne Grammar alumni website, which we've installed our Archives module onto. So obviously the way we can get to the Archives module is through the menu system, and I've just clicked on that, and now it's just loading up the archive facility for me. So there's two components on this landing page to the Archives module. You can see we've got this timeline here where we can just scroll through and have a look at all the different archive items that have been uploaded, and then down the bottom they're actually just listed in a table format. So we'll focus on the graphical display up the top here, and you can see I can just scroll through these items and or choose an item from the timeline down the bottom, and the idea here is that this is going to build over time and place items wherever they need to be on this timeline. So first of all, we'll take a look at actually adding items to this archive. The philosophy here is that we want to use the alumni as a resource, and what I mean by that is that every school has an archives facility, and what archive items you have in that in the archives are basically only a fraction of what you could potentially get from a school's archives, and the reason for that is that so many items would be down in the basements of the alumni, or in boxes, or under the beds, or wherever it might be. So what we're trying to do is use the existing archives of the school just as a starting point to create an interesting, graphical, engaging facility, and then the alumni can come along and see it and get drawn in and then think to themselves, well, what items do I have? And so it might be a photo of a trophy, or a scan of a report card, or an essay, or any type of thing that they might have are things that they can actually upload into this archives facility. Now, obviously, if we're going to facilitate the sheer mass of items that might then create, we're obviously going to want to filter and sort them appropriately so that it doesn't just become a complete mess of items. So let's have a look at the way that we add a new item here. I can just click on Add New Item, and that launches the window for me to now add something to the archive facility. So in step one, we've got the date of that's relevant for that particular archive item. We've got a title. We've got a description, and you can just copy and paste from Word. You can reformat. You can do whatever you like there to make it look more interesting. In step two, that's just about the type of media that we're uploading. So from this drop-down, you can see we've got upload an image, a website URL, so that can link through to a blog post or an article, or anything that you think might be of interest to link directly to. We've also got bulletin boards photo boards available here, so I can actually click on the photo board, and the philosophy here is that any type of photo board is actually just a different type of archive. And as we scroll down here, we've got, for example, the Community Business Lunch in 2009. So if you wanted to create an archive item from that photo board, then we just type in a bit of a description about that, and when someone clicks on the link, that'll be taken through to all the photos, whereas the primary photo of that photo board is what's displayed in the actual archive. So then we can have a text-only archive if we wanted to have that as well. With the upload image, you can see there it just gives me the opportunity to click on Browse and select a file to upload. So that image might be a photo of a trophy, or the scan, or whatever it is that we talked about before. In step three, this is really the critical part of this, is how we actually categorize the different items that people are uploading. So as I said, we don't want it just to be a collection of a huge amount just thrown into the same facility. We want to be able to search on them and filter them accordingly. So first of all, we have a primary category, and you can only choose one primary category. This is just an example list of categories that we've got. We're definitely looking for feedback on this to different type of categories that you think people would want to upload. So we could just, for example, choose class photo as the type of item that we're uploading. Next is tags, and you can select as many tags as you think are relevant for this item. So we could choose cohort years, and then pick, say, 3 different cohort years, and you can see those tags are created down the bottom. If we want to remove any tag, then it's quite simple to do so. We've created a list here of things that you think might be good to tag. So we've got subjects. You could do maths and languages other than English, or sports. You could say it was basketball, and the grade was open fourths. All these tags are just different ways that people are going to be able to find these items when they're searching the facility. Reunions, we've just got a selection of reunions here that they can choose from, so let's say a 60-year reunion or an alumni event, so business breakfast or golf day or whatever it might be. So that's how we place the tags, but the other thing we can do is actually tag people, and I'm just here picking off a few names, and you can just search for the names and just click on them in order to add them as a tag, and then that'll become searchable when people are using the facility. So that just gets submitted. If they are just a regular alumni and they're just submitting one of their own archive items, then they don't get to see this approved for display link at the top, but as an administrator you can then approve whatever they submit. So that's how items get collected and are made available onto this board. So as I mentioned, we don't want this to just be in disarray if items are just thrown in there. So that's where the filter comes in, and you can see the filter at the top here is just the same items as before, and people can then just filter that and search, and that'll then just only display those items on the timeline. So for example, if a magazine, for example, is just a different type of archive items. So if someone searches for magazines, then and you've uploaded your magazines, then that'll just display a nice timeline from day 0 of the school through to today, and they can then just search across all the magazines. And I think I've got an example of a magazine here. Well, a newsletter is obviously the same format as a magazine. I can just click on this link, and it takes us to a nice interactive page-turning view of this particular magazine. So we have a facility built into the product that will automatically convert any magazine or newsletter PDF into this nice page-turning format. So it's very easy for you to just upload the PDFs, and then they're automatically displayed in this format. That's also searchable, so people can then search for their names or whatever it is they want to search for within that facility. So that's just another type of archive, but you can see that I can just scroll through. So really, this is, the key to this is that we're reaching into the pockets and the cupboards and under the beds of the alumni and saying, we want you to contribute to this, and start with what the school has at the moment and build from that. So, really using the alumni as a resource, not only making it a nice facility for them to view. So that's a very quick run through of the archives facility. Please let us know if you have any other questions, but thanks for your time.